Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Can you guys hear me? Yes, fantastic. I was struggling. This is a new platform, so I was struggling to find the chat box. But guys are around that you guys will be or learning something new. Guys like Steve Jobs, those type of guys always created products for themselves. So everything that I'm doing on this webinar, I'm myself accountable to that. So that always excites me because when I get to the point where the push comes to the shove, then I have no other option than to do what I told other people to do. I just want to check, can you guys see me? Is the video clear? Or is it just the speaker that's on? Can anyone just indicate the video is on? Yes or no? Okay, just speaker. I'm not sure where to put on the video. Ah, there we go. Fantastic. There I am. I see myself. It's good that there's only a little picture at the bottom. I don't want to look at myself. Cool, let's get started. All right, so for those who don't know me, my name is Brent Badenhorst. I'm the founder of the Entrepreneurship School, and I've been involved in helping people starting businesses since 2013. So from the age of 25, I was involved at Company Partners where I had my own franchise. And from there on, I became the operations director at age 27, after which I decided to go in the direction of the dream that I had for business, and that is to start the Entrepreneurship School. So we officially launched in 2018, January, and we started with zero, and I didn't apply for funding. I was resourceful, and we launched, and now we're already a team of 3, and we're growing fast, and we're expanding our service. So exciting times. The dream that I have for business and the idea that I have is to create an entrepreneur university, because everybody knows that jobs are getting more scarce, and we need to teach people to create their own work. So that's definitely something that I'm very passionate about. And there is the team. Nice, I'm very proud of the team. We're doing a very good job. We've got excellent service, and what we focus on is we do professional business plans, comprehensive and specialized business plans, so you guys can see the prices and the time frames there. And also I've got a business program which I help people to either grow a business or to start a business, and there's a prospectus that we work through during the business program. It's a 12-week process, and it's divided basically in 3 months. And yeah, so we help people to first of all understand entrepreneurship, create a vision for their business, and then we get real practical. How do I sell my product or my service? How do I package that? How do I set up a brand for myself? How do I do marketing? How do I do sales? What is the difference between marketing and advertising? And also leadership, which is very important. All right. If there's a bit of a sound issue, it's difficult from our side to fix that. So you guys just have to bear with me for this webinar. Cool. So I have a bit of a success story here. We recently assisted Neil Smuts from Spark Dust. He came to us as he had an existing business, but he only did it part-time, and he couldn't launch fully into the direction of his dream. So we assisted him first of all to identify his business vision. Where does he want to go with his business? Then we set up marketing and advertising campaigns for him on Facebook and on Google. And during the program, the 12-week program, He actually generated from those leads 80,000 Rand in sales, which is fantastic. So I think that's a brilliant testimonial. And afterwards, during the program, actually, he quit his 8 to 5 job and he's now fully operating his own business. So that's something that I'm very proud of. And that's something that I'm very passionate about, is to help these small guys to go and start and be successful. Another person that came to us was Monique Miller from the dance company SA. She had a lifelong dream to start her own dance school, and we assisted her to start the school basically from scratch. So she only had an idea, and we helped her to get a clear vision. We then assisted with compliance and branding and just general advice when she started out. And when she launched, we were there and helped her through the whole process. And up to now, I still check in with her and make sure everything is going fine. All right, so that is two brilliant testimonials. One small business that grew after they came onto the business program, and another one that started from scratch, nothing, and now they've got an operating business. She's fully booked out, and she's ready to franchise her business. All right, great stuff. So today's webinar is about how do I grow my business from good to great? How do I grow a business? And it's something that I've been thinking about this whole year, the concept of growing a business, as there's a lot of people who's able to start a business as they are good technicians and they know their industry fairly well, but they're not they can't get to the place of how do I actually grow? How do I increase my staff membership and how do I increase my business to go there? So today we're going to take a look at that. And just as we start off, I want to say that growth is never by mere chance. It is the result of forces working together. So nothing in life just happens. Nothing in life just happens. You have to plan, you have to execute, and then you have to make sure that you build. And building is a whole nother game. I can have the best plans, I can have the best ideas for my business, but if I'm not able to build, then all those plans and ideas actually doesn't help at all. And the only way that you can build is if you have a vision that you're building towards. It's like the same for someone who wants to build a house. You first need to draw up the vision, which is the architect's job. So he draws up how the house will look and what all the features of the house will be. Then you can present the construction company with that building plans, and they will then be able to build. But if you only go to a construction company and you say, please build me a house, the guys will say, well, where's the plan? So for anything to grow in life, you need a plan. And that's exactly the same with your business. If you want to grow your business, you need a plan. And you need to think about the plan. It needs to be practical, and it needs to be relevant, and it needs to be realistic. And if you have that plan, you've got a chance to grow your business. All right, so let's get going. We're going to take a look at 3 key areas in growing a business, which is first of all, building on your strength. Secondly, write the vision down, have a vision and write it down. And thirdly, building a system-dependent business. And I'm specifically going to take a look today at marketing and sales, because I think that's one area where most small business owners struggle, is they really don't have an understanding or a clear understanding of how to do marketing. In other words, how do I generate new leads, and also how do I convert these leads in a sale? And normally when you speak to people about sales, they get all nervous, and they would tell me, I'm not a salesman, I don't like selling myself. And I see this every single time that I work with people. When I get to someone's existing business, and it's maybe a small business or a one-man show, the moment I get to sales, that person's like stiffening up and they want nothing to do with sales. I want to get to that today, break it down, and see that you maybe have a different perspective about sales and marketing after this webinar. If you guys can pop me an email afterwards if you are interested to get the slides, no problem. I'm going to send you my email address. at the end of this presentation, so you can just send me an email afterwards and ask for the slides. I'll be more than happy to send the slides to you. All right, so first of all, let's take a look at the South African business climate. Now, apart from the fact that, which is very sad, that South Africa is now actually known, it's like, for me, I think it's normal to see how much corruption is going on in South Africa when it comes to business and when it comes to entrepreneurship and tendering and all this stuff. There's a hell of a lot of corruption. But apart from that, I don't want to touch on that today. Apart from that is the South African business climate in general. And the question is, why do people start a business? That is the main question. Why do South Africans start a business? And it's one of two reasons at the end of the day. The first reason is the person wants to get rid of the boss. So they don't want to work for a boss anymore. They would rather start their own business and go in the direction of their own dream, or build something that's for them and not for somebody else. That's the first reason why people start businesses in South Africa. And the second reason is survival entrepreneurship. So either you're retrenched, or either you don't have a job and you need to supply for your family, and now you start a business. So you're doing this out of survival. So you're not thinking about business, you're thinking about surviving. And you're not thinking about a business, you're thinking about, I want to work for myself, aka being self-employed. Nothing wrong with that, but there's a problem that comes in. So first of all, I want to say on the positive side, both reasons then results in you starting a business out of your technical expertise, right? So you are, let's take an example, you're a good plumber, and you one day look at the boss and you think to yourself, you know what, this guy would not have a business if it wasn't for me. So right then and there, you decide you're going to quit your job, you're going to start your own business, and you're going to build on something that's for you in the future. The problem is, you're a very good technician, so that's a positive. South Africans are great technicians. We've got some great people here, technical people in South Africa. The problem is, you're a technician and you don't necessarily understand how to do business. It's a big difference between the two. You don't necessarily understand how to do business. And if you look at building a business, just the skill of building a business, it comes down to, you need to be able to generate a lead. You need to be able to convert the lead into a sale. You need to be able to fulfill the client's needs. And lastly, you need to be a leader. In other words, you need to build a system-dependent business. Okay, so let's break this down. First of all, I can be a great technician. Let's keep with the example of a plumber. I can be a great plumber, right? But if I don't know how to generate leads, I won't have any plumbing work to do. If I don't know how to convert that lead into a sale, I won't have any cash coming into my business, and I will not be required to do any technical work. I hope that makes sense. So the core basis of your business comes down to marketing and sales. It is absolutely huge. You can have the best products, you can have the best service, you can have the best technician in your business. You could be the best technician in the industry. But if you don't get an understanding of marketing and sales, your business will not progress. And that's why it's so important, especially when you're starting a business, because in the beginning phase, you have to wear all the hats of the business. You need to be the marketer, you need to be the salesman, you need to be the technician, and you need to be the leader which checks everything in the business. And if you can't understand marketing sales from the start, you're going to have a problem, because there will never be enough business to grow on. So that is the South African business climate that we find ourselves in. Just to recap, there's two reasons people start a business. The first one is to get rid of the boss. The second one is to survive. Okay, now, if you did start a business based on one of these two reasons, it's not a massive problem. I just want to challenge you to go and shake up the foundation of why you started a business. And we're going to get to the important reason why this is actually important. Because you need to either innovate or you're going to evaporate, right? So You need to take a look at your business foundation. Question number one. On what foundation was your business founded? So I want you guys to think about this quick. On what foundation was your business founded? Did you decide to get rid of the boss? Or did you realize that you don't have a job and you need to supply for your family? Okay, those are the two main reasons. So quickly think. It might be either of two of those answers. The third option, which is a minority in South Africa, the third option is you really have a great idea. Go out to build a business because you're passionate about what you want to do and you are ready to innovate and make the industry on either technician or survival. That's not a problem. What we do now is we take a look at the solution, which is to fix the foundation. Okay, so you need to go back and think again about your business and you want to fix the foundation. If you want to build anything in life, you need to be sure the foundation is in place. If there's no foundation in place, you can't build because there's nothing that the building will stand on. Again, going back to construction, the construction company will take the plan that was set out to build the house and they will start off firstly with getting the foundation right. If the foundation is right, then there's an opportunity to build on the foundation. So let's take a look at the foundation. And I want to say here at the end, before I move on to the next slide, build a business on the foundation of a great idea. So what is that great idea that you're working towards? It can be anything in the area of either solving problems, provide a solution, or move something forward, or create something that will take the industry forward. And the example I want to use here, those of you who've seen my show or my webinars before, you know that I'm a big fan of Steve Jobs. This guy was easily 30 years before his time. And if you take a look at generally why people in the USA start a business, not that I'm a massive fan of America, but I must say those guys are leaders when it comes to starting businesses and building brands, etc. So the majority people in America that starts a business starts it because they've seen an opportunity or they have a great idea and they actually want to build a business. It's not based on I want to get rid of the boss and work for myself or I need to survive. It's based on a great idea. Hence, like Steve Jobs. He wanted to not work for somebody else. Steve Jobs started Apple because he believed that every single person on planet Earth will be better off with an Apple product. I'm going to say that again. Steve Jobs started Apple because he believed that every single person on Earth will be better off using an Apple product. He didn't need to get rid of a boss and he didn't only plan to survive. He had an idea. He wanted to make technology easy for human beings. So that was the idea behind what Steve Jobs did. Steve Jobs believed that in those early years before they launched the first Apple, the personalized computer industry wasn't really a thing. Computers was only available for big organizations like governments, universities, schools, etc. So Steve Jobs looked at this computer and he thought to himself, we need to get this to every single person on earth. Steve Jobs single-handedly created the personalized computer industry. And this is what makes this man amazing. He had an idea and he believed in the idea and then he started a business on this idea. So I want to switch your thinking around and I want to challenge you to take a look at why you started a business and how you can change that perspective into a great idea which will take your business forward from now going on. All right, are you guys with me? Are you guys still following me? I hope so. I hope so. Please give me a thumbs up there if you have learned anything up to now. All right, cool. So let's take a look at building business on your strength. First of all, what you want to do is you want to make sure you actually build on your strength. So you want to rock the foundation of your organization. You want to shake the comfort zone. You want to rock your own boat. Okay, I'm not sure how many of you has ever been in the position where you rock your own boat, where you know what I'm doing now is too comfortable and I'm not growing. I need to do something different. All right, so I want to challenge you, shake the foundation, ask yourself questions. If you ask yourself the right question, you're going to get the right answer. But it's easy to fool yourself. It's easy to ask the safe, easy questions. It's difficult to ask the hard questions to yourself because you can fool everybody around you, but you can't fool yourself. All right, so let's take a look at building business on your strengths. I want you to take a look at your business now in your mind's eye, and I want you to think to yourself, are you doing business on your strength, yes or no? Okay, and what I refer to when I say building business on your strength is that there's three circles that you need to take a look at. The first section is gifts and talents, the second one is passion, the third one is economic engine. Now you want to take a look at your business and make sure that you find the sweet spot, because if you find the sweet spot and you build business on your strengths, you will actually be in a perfect position to become the best that you can be and as an industry leader in your section, because nobody can think like you can think. You are a unique being, so you just need to find that uniqueness of yourself and take that forward. First of all, when it comes to gifts and talents, you need to ask yourself, what is my specific talent and my specific skill? What am I good in? What can you do better than anyone else in the world? Ask yourself that. Or not necessarily world, but it could be also in your community or in your industry or in your market or in the business that you work in. What can you do better than anyone else? That's your first question. If you've got a small business, your question should be, as a business, what can we do better than they're struggling? What do we do that they can't do? Secondly, very important, what am I the easier that you have 100 million. What would you sit on the beach and drink a pina colada? You will in a week, I guarantee you. You do something that serves other people because they're living other people's lives. I guarantee you, if I never had to work another day in my life, I will still be doing exactly what I'm doing today, exactly what I'll be doing tomorrow, exactly what I did yesterday, because I'm super passionate about what I'm doing. And the third strength you want to take a look at is your economic engine. How can you turn your talent and your passion into an economic engine? So the idea here is simple. If you're not gifted or talented in what you're currently doing, you will not be able to turn it into a sufficient economic engine. The second idea is, if you're not passionate about what you do, you will not last in the industry that you operate in. Okay, so you want to align the gift with the passion. I'm going to give you guys a very practical example. The other day I had a business counsel, a young guy, and he told me very proudly about a contract that he already secured for a logistics company. It was to do with a mine, and he literally now needed a business plan to get a truck and then start operating, because he already had the contract in the bag. So I said, no, that's fantastic. And I skipped this part over here. I went straight to what business is all about. You need to generate leads, convert it, and fulfill the client's needs. You need to be a leader, and etc., etc. Then I came back to this section and I said, so let's just have a quick think around. First of all, I asked him, what are you really gifted and talented in? And the guy thinks a bit and he's like, yeah, he thinks he's good in, or he knows he's good in numbers and finances. I'm like, okay, that's good. I like it. Then I go to the second section and I say, what are you really passionate about? And the guy thinks a bit and he's like, yeah, he thinks he's passionate about helping people with their money and their financials. And the thing is, this guy's already a financial advisor. All right. So then I said, can you see the problem that I have with you going into logistics? You don't have a gift for logistics. You've never operated in the industry. You know zero zip about logistics. Secondly, you're not passionate about logistics. So how long will you sit in the logistics industry before you're sick and tired of what you're doing? Because money will only motivate you for a month or two max. After that, you really need to understand that I actually like what I'm doing. Otherwise, you get bored. And he was actually thinking for himself, and he's like, yeah, I can see the problem. He's actually in the perfect industry already. He needs to be a financial advisor. So I want you to take a look at these three circles and ask yourself, as a business, what are we gifted and talented in? What can we do that nobody else can do? Secondly, what are we really passionate about? What are we really passionate about? If those two align, the gift and the passion, if that aligns, and you can find a model to turn cash out of that, you will do business in the sweet spot. Okay, it takes some time to think about this, but I guarantee if you figure this thing out, you will build on your strengths and the foundation will be in the right shape. So then you actually have a chance to make or to build a successful business because now there's a foundation. You're building on something, not just on getting rid of the boss or trying to survive or whatever. You're building on something. You're building on an idea that could change South Africa. All right, are you guys with me? I hope so. Next, a brilliant book. I would encourage everybody who's watching this to go buy this book and read it. This is probably one of the best business books I've ever read in my life. It's called Good to Great, written by Jim Collins. It's absolutely brilliant. Go buy this book. It is a bit expensive, but it will change your mind about growing a business forever. Okay, so now we looked at building business on your strength. So I want you guys to think, always think. You got to think. If you think the right thoughts, you're going to get the right answer. If you think about the right stuff, you're going to get a solution to the right stuff. If you don't want to think critically about your business, you just want to keep safe and play it safe, there's no longevity in that. You got to ask yourself the difficult questions. Okay, I want to challenge you. You need to ask yourself the difficult questions. All right. Now we're going to take a look at vision. So first of all, figure out what is the strength of my business. If you can figure out the strength of your business or the strength of you, then you can go ahead and say, okay, now I need to create vision. And not just vision in the sense of I'm starting a business, I need a vision, but also vision in the sense of I want to grow my business. What is the vision of the growth? Like what's this plan to grow? Because you can't grow a business if there's no plan. It's impossible. You can only grow a business when there's a detailed plan in place. If you grow a business and there wasn't a plan in place, you might be lucky, I don't know, or you might just be a good hustler. But ideally, you want to get a plan in place and follow that plan because then you know as an entrepreneur or a business owner, you're in control of what you are doing. Okay, so let's take a look. I want to just share one or two or three principles about vision before we jump into what a vision consists of. So first of all, the discipline of vision. Vision is a fantastic thing. Vision will set you free, I guarantee you. Give it a chance. Get a vision, write the vision down, put it on the wall. If you do that, you're accountable to that vision. It clarifies your purpose. It sets self-imposed standards. All right, it's self-imposed standards. There was a very wise king in olden times. His name was King Solomon. He wrote a book, Proverbs, and he said that where there's no vision, people cast off restraint. Okay, people throw off self-discipline if they don't have vision. Let that sink in. If you don't have a vision in your life, you throw off self-discipline because you're not going anywhere. So why should you discipline yourself for anything? If I'm a rugby player and I want to play for the Springboks, that is my vision. I want to be a professional international rugby player. I want to play 100 tests. And this vision is clear. I'm going to have self-imposed standards that's going to help me to get to the vision. So on a Friday night when everybody goes out to party, I'm going to sleep early because I need to get up on a Saturday and practice. It becomes easy. Vision starts to make your choices. If somebody says he's serious, he wants to play for the Springboks one day, and you find him on a Monday morning, 10 o'clock, eating KFC in front of the TV, he is not serious, and the vision is not set in his mind. As easy as that. All right. Vision gives direction and makes life simplistic. Okay, it makes choices easy. If I've got a vision to play for the Springboks, and there's a choice to eat healthy or to eat rubbish, I'm going to choose to eat healthy because I have a vision. Very simple, practical example. Lastly, vision empowers beyond resources. Okay, this is very important. Very, very important. Vision empowers beyond resources. Okay. If you find yourself in a place where your business is stuck and you're stuck in a rut and you're not growing anywhere, you have to take a look at what the vision of the business is. Because if you have a clear vision, you're going to be empowered beyond resources because the vision is clear. If the vision isn't clear, you're going to be limited by resources. All right. Example, Steve Jobs had nothing when they started Apple. In fact, Steve Wozniak created this first Apple. Let me quickly tell you the story. It's a brilliant story. So Steve Wozniak was brilliantly intelligent. He created the first personalized computer through writing the code on a piece of paper over a period of 11 months. He wrote a code, and when he plugged everything in and he had a keyboard and he typed and the letters came on the screen, it was the first time that ever happened in the history of computers. He takes this thing to Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs realizes this is incredible. This is amazing. And they go to the hobbyist expo. They want to show this computer to everybody. And nobody is impressed. The people say, whatever, they want to look at other stuff. So Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak walks away from this hobbyist conference, but there's one guy that follows them. They don't have money to start a business. Either Steve Jobs or Steve Wozniak has no money to start a business. And this guy follows them and he says to them that he was very impressed with what they showed. He gave the business, he gave his business card to them and said, "Here's my business card, give me a call or stay in touch." The next day, Steve Jobs rocks up at this guy's shop and he's like, "This is me staying in touch." And right there and then, he negotiates a deal to make 50 computers for this guy. All right, fantastic. He gets the deal. He gets the business. The only problem is he doesn't have a cent in the bank. He's got no money. And he's got no factory. He's got no equipment. And he's got no workforce. But he needs to build 50 computers. Can you guys see the problem in that? But because Steve Jobs discovered this vision when he saw this computer that Steve Wozniak built, he was empowered. He doesn't quit. He doesn't say, "I don't know." A lot of people in South Africa wants to start a business, and their number one question is, "Will I get the funding?" And the answer is no, you won't, because you need to first prove yourself that you're a good entrepreneur, that you can build a track record from 3 to 6 months and make sure your business is profitable. then people will be interested in funding. Anyways, so Steve Jobs calls the people with the equipment and he tells them, listen, I've got this deal with the people, with this company. If I deliver 50 computers, they will give me the money, then I can pay you guys if you give me the equipment up front. They said, you are crazy, you're out of your mind, it's never going to work. They're not going to give him equipment out of thin air, then makes a plan. So this is where Steve Jobs was resourceful. He goes to the guy he made a deal with. He takes the guy to the people with the equipment and he says, you guys now communicate. Confirm with him that we have a deal. He says, yes, shop, we have a deal. They give him the equipment. So there he goes with his equipment. Now he's in a position to build the computers. And lastly, no workforce, but he recruited the neighborhood kids and everybody had to do something. All right, so that's Steve Jobs in a nutshell. Resourceful, vision empowers you beyond resources. Okay, but the foundation is key. The foundation in this area is key. This great people, it's just a great point where you will be limited or bigger than yourself. So there's no drive that comes from the inside that takes you on. Keep that in mind. The important vision is to grow you to plan. You need a purpose, you need a strategy, you need a tactical goals and deadlines. Purpose, strategy, tactics, goals and deadlines. So let's take a look at these. This is now if you want to grow your business or either if you want to start your business. So first of all, you want under your purpose section of this vision, you want an idea worth working for. You want to build your business on an idea that will be more than just getting rid of the boss or surviving. I'm going to take an example here. Let's take ABC Shoes. I'm starting a shoe company and I want an idea that's bigger than just supplying shoes to people. Okay, so the idea behind ABC Shoes is personalized, custom shoes for special events. I'm going to focus on the male market. I'm going to create shoes for special events. Okay, that's the idea behind why I'm starting this business. Okay, now I need a vision. Okay, so I need a vision in a nutshell and I need a detailed plan of action to how I will actually achieve this business. So the vision is that ABC Shoes to become the market leader in the community through good quality and personal manufactured shoes. Okay, so that's my vision, very easy. Lastly, I need a mission. All right, so my mission is what do I want to accomplish? ABC Shoes will be number one in the community when it comes to shoe manufacturing. That's in a nutshell what my growth idea is all about, and this forms the purpose of the business. This makes it all worth it for me. Now I'll move over to my strategy. So I've dealt with the purpose now. Now I'm going over to my strategy. Strategy is in a nutshell anything from either 1 to 3 concepts that you want to attack in the market and be different than anybody else. So when it comes to strategy, let's say the first strategy is I would suggest that if you're looking for a strategy to grow this, you need to go and do March. Okay, right? You want to know you're running them. Okay, so let's say shoes on the competition. I figure out it's 3 minutes and it takes about 15 days to deliver uh, and it's a big thing because I'm not going to start as to go and push per customer shoe to deliver my product comes to price. I want on my strengths. Because if I don't no, and I can take it right. Okay, so if I have to place the person's initials on the shoe, it feels special and the market is missing that. Okay, that's one of my strengths. I'm bringing it into my strategy. And then lastly, I want to take a look at my last strategy. Okay, so let's take a look at the brand or the business in general. And that comes down to the last strategy: become the strongest brand and dominate the market. Make sure that I have good sales and good marketing. Okay, so just building like a solid business with good departments, good branding, good marketing, good sales. If I can do this, I believe that I'll be in a good position to grow this ABC shoe business to the next level. All right, so that's purpose is now done. We've got our purpose idea written down. We've got our three strategy concepts that we're going to target in the market. Now we got to move over to the tactical approach. Now, the tactical approach is a very specific and very detailed step-by-step process to how I'm going to roll out the vision, how I will target the concepts of the strategy very practically, and it needs to be with goals and deadlines. Deadlines very important. Otherwise, you're going to work forever on something because there's nothing that's keeping you accountable at a specific date. Okay, so the tactics for this will be very easily. Step one will be to take a look at the foundation. So now I've got ABC shoes. I need to check out the foundation. Did I really start this business on the right merits? I feel I have, because I want to make people remember special events forever with a brilliant shoe that they can wear over again, again, again. Okay, secondly, market research. I need to go and check out the market. I need to know exactly what's going on in the market for me to be able to build a competitive advantage. And the third step at phase number one will be to weigh in my strengths. Okay, let's get my strength in the middle of this business, because now I'm building on a sweet spot and nobody else can copycat me. Step four will be to innovate solutions, and step five will be to map out the vision. Okay, so that's my planning phase. It is now done. I've planned, I've done my due diligence, I've done my homework, I've got a very clear idea of what I need to do to become successful. Phase two, what I'm going to do in phase two is I'm going to set up a proper operations department, I'm going to set up a sales system, I'm going to set up a marketing campaign. And number three will be to launch. So my planning is done, my foundation is in order, and now I'm launching my first marketing campaign. And I'm reviewing after I've launched, I'm adjusting what needs to be adjusted, and after I make this successful, I will then move on and say, okay, cool. So I've now become the market leader in the community. Next step for me will become the market leader in the province. So now I need to get a franchise model or a shop model to branch out to different sections in the province. That is as practical as a vision can get. And that's how I normally, or that's how I did my vision, and how I moved my business from one level to the next. And I'm glad to report that we've hit all our targets up to now. And I'm at the end of the cycle that I gave myself. At the end of this month, we need to hit our last target, and then I'm going again. So then I'm in that step three phase, where I have to take a look at, okay, we've achieved this now. Fantastic. The business has grown exponentially in this region, how am I going to take this now to the next level? It's the exact approach that I took before my business grew. So that's what I believe with Steve Jobs. They created products for themselves. I test out stuff and then I go teach other people and say, why don't you try this? It could work. All right, cool. And now the last section, I said I was going to mention, or I was going to spend some time on marketing and sales. So let's take a look at this. Something that makes people very nervous, marketing and sales. It's not that difficult. All right, so you want 3 main systems in your business. After you've discovered what you are good at, what your strength is, and you have now a clear vision, a clear plan in place of how you will grow your business from A to B. Now you need to set up a system-dependent business. Very important, system-dependent business. So you have to take a look at 3 main systems. Firstly, you want to set up a marketing system. In other words, it generates leads for you. Secondly, you want to set up a sales system. In other words, you convert those leads into a sale. And lastly, you need to deliver on your promises. And I just want to quickly explain a system, just to give you guys the right idea of the system. So here on the right corner, on the right-hand side in the corner, there's a guy with a yellow hat. He's the manager of the business, and you can see everything consists of a system. Okay, so a system is a mechanism that produces an end result. So everything in his business is system dependent. If I have to fire any one of these people that operates the systems, I can just put somebody else in their place and they can take over those systems. All right. So that's the basic idea of a system. You want to, as a technician, let's say you're a good plumber. As a technician, you want to be able to create a system that gets the same result that you get when you do plumbing. So you're a brilliant plumber, you go to a client, they're very happy, you do your job very well. Now you need to be able to do whatever you do, you need to be able to put on a piece of paper and say, step 1 is this, step 2 is this, step 3 is this. If you can do that, you've got a system for that position. Now you can employ somebody else and say, please follow these steps. If you follow these steps, this will be the end result. And now you give your employee instructions to how they need to exactly build the business or do their job. Then you are free from that position and you now just manage from the outside. And that is exactly what this guy is doing in the corner. All right, next. I want to quickly give you guys 2 ideas when it comes to lead generation. Idea number 1 is lead generation. Focus point number 1 is advertising. Lead generation focus number 2 is branding. Big difference between the 2. When you look at advertising, you want to sell your product or your service. All right. You're looking for an immediate result and you want to create a system out of that because this is how you generate leads. And if you need to, if you want to get to your monthly targets, you need to generate new leads from scratch. Okay. The second focus point when it comes to lead generation is branding. And the purpose of branding is to buy territory's mind and establish yourself as the number 1 brand in that industry. It's a long-term investment. So it's not a short-term investment, it's a long-term investment. For instance, on Facebook, you do posts about this and about that. You're not directly selling anything, but that guy knows now, okay, so this Entrepreneurship School has helped 5 people to get funding every time they put it on Facebook. The day he needs funding for a business, he's going to think of you and he's going to say, I'm going to call these guys because they know how to get the job done. Whereas advertising is me paying for an ad, putting it on Facebook or Google and say, do you need a business plan? Click here. That's to make an immediate sale. Okay, so that's much more direct approach. That's the basic difference between advertising and branding. So first of all, I want you to get a clear understanding of that. And let's move on to the next slide. There's a very simplistic sequence when it comes to marketing and sales. It comes down to attention, communication, trust. You want to grab your prospects or your customers' attention, first of all. Secondly, you want to communicate. Thirdly, you want to get them to trust you. If you don't grab someone's attention, they will not be interested in what you have to say. If you don't communicate to somebody, you will not trust you, and if there's no trust, nobody will put his hand in his pocket to actually buy your product or your service. Okay, it's a very simplistic approach. How can you grab your market's attention? Firstly. Secondly, how can you communicate what your business is all about? And lastly, get people to trust you. Then they're actually willing to make a payment and to use your product or your service. All right, so keep that in mind when it comes to everything you do in terms of marketing and sales. When you do an advertisement, always think to yourself, okay, I need to grab attention. How will I do that? I shall communicate, and this will win the people's trust, and they will do business with me. If you're doing a sales call, or if you're going out on a meeting to see a win as a possible customer that you want to win as a client, when you enter the meeting, think to yourself, I first of all need his attention. How will I do that? Secondly, now I need to communicate with him because that's going to win his trust and that's going to convert him from a lead into either a customer or a client. Those are following me. It's exciting stuff, this. When I got a hold of this information, it was good. All right. Okay, so I've got 3 steps when it comes to lead generation that you guys can practice in your business and get your business to grow. Step number 1 is to create a strategy. Okay, so for the lead generation specifically, you want to create a strategy. And you do that by asking yourself, firstly, what am I selling? If you are a security company, it's an interesting question that I always post this just to get people to think. If you're a security company, are you selling security services or are you selling peace of mind? Let's see, I'm not sure, does someone want to answer this question? If you're a security company, do you sell security services or do you sell peace of mind? Let's see if somebody answers. Okay, I don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to move on. You're selling peace of mind. Okay, so ask yourself, what am I selling? What am I selling? Secondly, ask yourself, who am I targeting? All right, ask yourself, who am I targeting? Because if you can answer what you are selling and who you are targeting, you know where to find the people that you want to target. If you can identify where to find the people that you are targeting, then you can choose the right marketing channels because you're going to get to the right people that you want to get to. All right. And then it comes down to reaching them. Attention, communication, trust, and attention. Where's their attention at? What are they interested in? And what is their needs that you need to fulfill? Okay, step 2, you got to identify your channel. Step 1, get a strategy for your marketing and your advertising. Step 2, identify the channels that you want to use. Okay, so I've got some examples that I want to quickly touch on with you guys. Okay, tagline, logo, website, basics, flyers, that's unacceptable if you don't have it. You need an online presence. You need a Facebook page. You need a LinkedIn. People will check you out, and if you don't have that in place, you lose possible trust. All right. Lastly, also another good channel that you can take a look at is marketing. The channels out there, for instance, you've got BNI, or you can create your own marketing opportunity. That normally works well for financial advisors. Okay, and then step number 3. So when it comes to advertising branding, step number 1, create a clear strategy. Step number 2, identify your channels. Step number 3, you now build on this and you build a quality brand. Build a quality brand. Okay, you do that through great content, staying active, um, build a strong specific network, and they have great content. You can check it out on canva.com, and you can download pictures on Pixabay for free. And there's a fantastic way for you to start to build great content. All right, next. It might be, I just want to give this idea to someone out there. It might be time to redesign your brand. Okay, so up to now, what you've done is, it's fine, it worked up to now, but now it's time for a brand change. Now it's time to redesign your brand and go next level. That might be a thought for somebody here today that's listening. Okay, when it comes to branding, I just want to give some very practical advice quickly. First of all, a simplistic brand name. You want in 5 to 6 seconds, a person looking at your brand must know exactly what you do. All right. A good quality brand name, a tagline that describes in a nutshell what you do, and you want a simplistic image. Now look at it. When it comes to your flyer, make sure that it's also very simplistic. In a nutshell, you want to explain what you are doing. Then secondly, you want to give general details, time frame, cost, and a platform. And lastly, contact details. You got to keep this flyer as simplistic as possible. People don't want to read long stuff. All right, next, a business card. Okay, so this is actually a very ugly business card that I did just before the webinar to give it as an example. So you want it to be simplistic, but the basics about the business card is, what is your name, your contact details, where can I find you, and what's your brand? As easy as that. Example of a Facebook or a LinkedIn ad, you've got your heading, so that's where you grab people's attention. So the heading that I have over here is take your business from good to great. And then in the text, I now have an opportunity to communicate to you. So now I'm asking you a question. Do you want to grow your business from good to great? You think by yourself, yeah, sure, I do want to grow my business. Then I say, I've got a solution for you. So I first of all address the need. Secondly, I provide a solution. Thirdly, I provide an option for the lead to take action. Contact us today and we'll give you a call. Fabulous. That's one way of grabbing someone's attention and making sure they take action on your ad. And lastly, your email footer. Make sure it's professional. Make sure you don't do business from a Gmail address, but that you actually do business from a domain that represents your brand. Very, very, very important. People judge you on how professional you present yourself. And there's no excuse not to be professional. And then be an also a strategy behind your marketing. All right. So I want to quickly just touch on sales also before we finish up. And I want to change someone's mindset here about sales. Okay. Sales is nothing other than an excellent product or service that people need at a good price, that is communicated and delivered with excellent service. Your ability to communicate the product or service that you sell that other people need. You pitch, and you got to stick to that pitch and make sure that it works. Okay, that is sales. It's not necessary to be afraid of sales. If you've got a quality product at a good price and you know people need it, you're not licking anybody to buy from you. You just communicate clearly, listen, this is my product, you need it, this is the price, it's fair, it's my bread and butter, please pay me for it. There's nothing wrong with that. So I think we need to get away from this concept of a second-hand car salesman or an insurance policy seller. You're not. If you've got a good product with a good service, you've got a good business. And you have the right to sell your good product or your good service. Nothing to be ashamed of. Okay, so I would encourage you guys when it comes to sales, first of all, practice your skill. It comes down to being good with people. So buy some people skills books. All right, become better with people because people is business. People is business. Where there's people, there's business opportunity. So practice your people skills. There's a great book you guys can read, How to Win Friends and Influence People, to become better with people. I would encourage you to buy a body language book to start studying human behavior, which will make you automatically better as a salesman. Secondly, build a sales pitch. Okay, build a sales pitch. And lastly, create a system. All right, so let's take a look here. That is the information that I'm keeping to make sure my sales is under control. So every time a lead comes in, you go through a 5-step process. I give myself the best chance to convert that lead into a sale. Get organized. Secondly, I have a sales pitch. So how will my normal email, normal phone call go when I'm trying to make a sale? It's a friendly introduction. After that, I'm asking the client what he really needs and why is he interested in my business. He now communicates to me, and in that process, if you really listen to that lead or that prospect, you're going to know exactly what he needs, and that will give you the ability to sell, because now you can say, you know what, I've got a solution to this and this problem that you mentioned, and it will deliver. As easy as that. But be prepared. For instance, I can never just pick up a phone and make a sale. I need to sit, I need to take a look at the client, I need to know what I want to tell the person, then I'm going to make a good sales call. If I think I'm just going to shoot out of the hip and I'm going to be innovative, train smash, I guarantee you. All right. And then lastly, sales pitch for direct advertising. The same process is applicable when you go to personal sales conversations or phone call sales conversations. Attention, communication, trust. And I'm going to skip that. And I want to challenge you guys. It's now time for you to grow and go and identify your strengths in your business. Secondly, get a vision to where you want to grow the business to that's based on an idea, not on survival and not on technical skills. And thirdly, create a system-dependent business. Remember, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. I want to encourage you to take action. And there is my email address. If you guys want the slides, please pop me an email and I will reply to you with the slides. You can also contact us. I enjoyed this. I'm very proud of what that showed on this webinar. You guys must have a great day further. And remember that nothing is impossible. All right, cool.